What is up, you guys? It's your host, as always, the guy with movie tickets, here to give you a quick review for the upcoming DC Universe film, The Flash, in theaters June 16th. I did have the privilege of getting to watch the film a month before its release, along with it being the test footage. So it wasn't fully completed, but it was still a great movie to go and check out. Not only that, I did have some friends with me to go and watch the film, and they actually had some the blast as well. But before I dive into my review, I gotta find my hat because it's the guy with movie tickets without his hat. Kind of feels weird. So for the time being, while I'm looking for my hat, I'm gonna give it to Julio, my special guest with me, who joined me for the film, and he's gonna give you a bit of his review rather than hearing it from me all the time, which shouldn't be an issue, isn't an issue, maybe, who knows. My friend's gonna go ahead and take over, but Julio, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you. So take it away.
Hey guys, how's it going? Julio here. Now, I did have the amazing opportunity to watch The Flash in theaters at a pre-screening event with Jonathan, which was amazing. And here are just a couple of my thoughts on it, what I liked and didn't like, and my overall score on it. One thing that I really did enjoy was The Flash's suit. I thought the yellow stripes throughout the suit, which I think were like some sort of energy that he was producing, or maybe it was the electricity, looked really nice. As well as the actual color of it being yellow versus that traditional blue that we are used to. I also enjoyed the pacing of the movie itself. It didn't feel too slow or too rushed, which I know can be a problem sometimes, especially with DC movies. They'll either feel really, really slow or they'll feel pretty rushed. And I'm fairly surprised and happy that this movie didn't really contain any of that for myself. It was a perfect blend of slow moments when needed and fast, action-packed moments when needed also. One thing that I really enjoyed was Michael Keaton's Batman. Very nostalgic. I had just watched the original Batman maybe like 2 months ago, and I'm glad to see that he's still, even though he's embodying an older Batman now, he still has that gravitas and is able to do all these things as far as the physical aspect of it. Even though he is, like I said, an older Batman, he can still pack a punch, and it's awesome to see that on the big screen. One thing that I think that they could have worked on, and maybe it's because this was a pre-screening of the movie itself, was some CGI. There was definitely some moments in the movie where I was like, ooh, I can definitely tell that this is a computer generated and it doesn't look as well defined as everything else within that same picture. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good. I personally would give it a solid 8. I would definitely watch it again. I'm probably going to go watch it with my dad since he is a fan of DC a little bit more than I am. But this is definitely a movie worth adding to your watch list if you have one. And fans of the older Batman will definitely want to see Michael Keaton once again reprise this role and show us why he is Batman.
Thank you, Julio, for coming out with me to check out the pre-screening for The Flash. And as always, I always appreciate you coming out too whenever we get the chance to watch these films early. And thank you for sharing your review as well. Definitely helps out and giving others a perspective from a different perspective and a different point of view as to the thoughts and the reactions to the film. Good news, found my hat. But to get started on my review, unlike Julio, I do give the film a 7.5 out of 10, minus 2.5 points for a couple reasons. First and foremost, the plot of The Flash is based off of Flashpoint, but when watching it, it didn't feel exactly like Flashpoint. This is coming from me as someone who reads the comics and has read the comic for the Flashpoint storyline. And with that, it wasn't as dark as I had hoped for. There was maybe small little moments here and there where it could have been dark or where it was dark. But I was really hoping for the film to have that super darkness into it, like exactly like Flashpoint. Ever since they announced that The Flash was coming as a film and they were announcing that it was going to be a Flashpoint-based storyline, I was super excited. I had that expectation that we were going to see different things exactly from the comic, but unfortunately DCU didn't go based on the Flashpoint storyline exactly. So there was a lot of things that they could have done that maybe could have saved the DC universe in a way, and unfortunately they fell very short from that. The next thing I'll definitely say is that with Sasha Calle's Supergirl, her role was really great. She did a phenomenal job, both acting in embodying the Supergirl persona and the hero herself, as well as giving the hero a great entrance as part of both as a live action as well as getting into the DC extended universe films. However, I will say that she didn't have enough screen time. I really hope that she did. overall, I think she did a great job, but it's just the amount of screen time they gave her was definitely not enough, and it really would have been nice to see her portray Supergirl more in this film and give. And she really gave it all her all for the film, but I feel as though there was something else missing. Maybe they cut off a scene, or maybe there was something that they pretty much just cut out. But again, I really wish that they would have brought more screen time to her character. The last thing I'll definitely say, in somewhat of a very small spoiler, but for those of you who haven't seen the film, or I mean, who haven't seen the Flashpoint storyline or read it, either the animated version or the comic book version, you'll definitely know who the villain is within that storyline. For this film, definitely not that villain at all. Unfortunately, they went with a different villain, which was almost, I guess you would say, disappointing in a sense. And again, it has to do with like the Flashpoint storyline and how the DC universe kind of just fell short on the expectations and how it could have saved itself and probably increased its fandom pretty much. So I definitely will say that unfortunately the villain we were hoping to get does not come in, and hopefully maybe they're saving him for a different storyline or different Flash film, but this could have been the great entrance from that villain, and it could have been something even bigger to see. Um, but yeah, that's my minus 2.5 for the score. But in terms of a 7.5 out of 10, I will go down and say that Michael Keaton's Batman was definitely a great addition to the film. Just like Julio said, there was that feeling of nostalgia, and if you have seen the Michael Keaton Batmans from Tim Burton, you'll understand why as to um, why you would feel that nostalgia, and he definitely has that that vibe and still can bring the Batman persona to everybody, and he definitely does a great job and still hasn't lost his touch portraying Batman. The next thing I'll definitely say is that the story, even though they missed their mark on the Flashpoint storyline, they still did a good job with the storyline being pretty smooth, at a good pace, wasn't feeling rushed at all, and they were able to pretty much almost touch base on pretty much what was going on and give the the film watchers or those who are or the audience pretty much a grasp of what exactly is going on and what's to come in that film. The emotion was pretty big on that one, and seeing Barry's dedication to proving his dad was innocent in the murder of his mother, Nora Allen, was very just really great, and it's something that it could hit home to a lot of people who can maybe relate to Barry's experience on losing a parent or losing both parents in this case. And definitely there was that Flash humor that we all kind of see from the comics or from DC animated series or even the CW version of the Flash. So there was that humor that was great. It was there, and it was in a perfect mix. So it wasn't too much, it wasn't too little, but it was just about right. Um, Seeing Michael Shannon come back as General Zod was another big plus. He still got it as well, just like Michael Keaton. He still gives off that villain vibe. Definitely gives off like crazy general vibes, and he can definitely strike fear in both the um, characters in the film as well as to the audience. So he gave us that nervousness of what's he going to do next, what's going to happen, and is he going to pretty much like it leaves you in a limbo almost in questions. But he did a great job in the film and definitely still has that General Zod vibe, and he gives that persona 110% absolutely. So definitely give props to Michael Shannon on both coming back as General Zod and still having that General Zod persona in him still. And last but not least, I'll definitely say that Sasha Calle's Supergirl acting for the film was great. She did a phenomenal job portraying the character, and it really would have been nice to see more screen time for her character as well. And with that, I'll definitely just say that for you, the audience, as well as the watchers of my movie reviews, as well as this one, definitely go check out the film. The Flash is out in theaters June 16th. I highly recommend it for everybody to go watch it, and as well. And along with that, some of the questions that people might be wondering as to, does this film redeem Ezra Miller over his past controversies? What is the next thing that's going to happen? Does this revamp the DC universe in a way where we'll see new actors portray certain characters. Some of these questions I can't answer just because it's a film you definitely have to go and watch, and something that you have to pretty much go and see. But I will definitely say that for Ezra Miller, did he do a good job? Absolutely. Does he need to be does the character of the Flash need to be recasted? Absolutely. I think if they were to recast him, they can bring a different person, a different character, uh, or even a different actor to portray the Flash. I know there's different iterations of the Flash that are out there, such as Bart Allen or like the Flash family that take up the mantle, even Wally West for that case. But in the terms of if he did a good job and should he be recasted, yes and yes. In terms of what happens to the DC universe after this film, you would have to go and watch it and see what exactly is going to happen. And with that, again, 7.5 out of 10. It is a good movie. I do plan on going to go see it again, and maybe this time I'll actually take either family, more friends, and even date night. But again, The Flash is out in theaters June 16th. Thank you, Warner Brothers, for hooking it up with the tickets to go and see the film, as well as AMC for hosting the screening. And as always, you guys have fun, enjoy, watch out for spoilers because they are out there on the internet right now. But have fun, grab your popcorn, and enjoy the film.